In a landmark engagement last week in the Red Sea, a U.S. Navy destroyer shot down an incoming Houthi anti-ship cruise missile, suggesting the ship's long-range weapons systems failed to neutralize the threat. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer USS Gravely instead relied on its Mk-15 Phalanx close-in weapon system, CISW, to intercept the missile just under a mile from the ship. On the one hand, it's a win for the Phalanx, which has not scored a kill in its 40 years of service. Not a bad thing, considering it's the Navy's so-called last line of defense. But on the other hand, we don't know the exact details of the engagement, so it's unclear if the use of Phalanx over other systems was intentional. This was, after all, a close call. During World War II, U.S. Navy surface ships were blanketed from bow to stern with as many anti-aircraft guns as possible. A Gatling-class destroyer, the backbone of the wartime destroyer fleet, was equipped with 6 5-inch guns, 12 40mm guns, and 11 20mm guns. The objective was to blanket the sky with a wall of steel, preventing Japanese kamikazes and other aerial threats from getting near the fleet. Radar and automation changed all of that. Thanks to radar, a single gun system with a computer brain could detect multiple targets, compute their distance, speed, and heading, and accurately engage threats in order of priority. This promised to free up tons of space on warships, with one weapon doing the work of more than 20. The Mk-15 Phalanx is an M61A1 Gatling gun, the same 6-barreled gun mounted on the F-15 Eagle and F-16 Fighting Falcon fighter jets, mated to a Ku-band radar and an advanced, computerized fire control system. Once the weapon is armed from the ship's Combat Information Center, it automatically scans the skies for incoming aerial threats. The system is completely automated. The need to combine both radar and ballistics data and fire accurately at a threat just seconds from impacting the ship rules out human participation. Only a computer can react fast enough. As Phalanx's radar begins to pick up on incoming missiles, it starts prioritizing the first 6 at a range of 5.58 miles. Phalanx automatically engages incoming threats at 2.27 miles, sending a hail of 20mm shells into the path of an incoming missile. The M61A1 has a rate of fire of 4,500 rounds per minute, and stores 1,500 tungsten or depleted uranium shells, enough for 20 seconds of firing. A Phalanx will fire for about 1 to 2 seconds per engagement. By the mid-1980s, Phalanx had been placed on most ships of the U.S. fleet, as well as those of NATO allies in Japan. Its first opportunity to shoot down an incoming missile was an opportunity missed. In 1987, Iraqi Exocet anti-ship cruise missiles struck the frigate USS Stark in the Persian Gulf. Although the frigate had detected the aircraft that launched the missile, the crew did not consider it a threat, and did not activate defensive systems, including Phalanx. Moments later, 2 Exocets struck the Stark, killing 37 crew. In 1991, during the First Gulf War, Iraqi forces fired a Silkworm anti-ship missile at a formation of U.S. and Royal Navy warships. The battleship USS Missouri deployed chaff, strips of aluminum foil designed to fool the missile's radar seeker into thinking the chaff is the target warship. The frigate USS Jarrett's Phalanx automatically locked on and engaged the chaff instead of the missile, which was shot down by a nearby British destroyer. The first actual shootdown by a Phalanx took place in 1996, but didn't exactly go as planned. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force destroyer Yugiri, involved in air defense gunnery practice, accidentally engaged a U.S. Navy A-6 intruder bomber towing a radar-reflective target. The A-6 was shot down, and fortunately the crew was safely recovered. It took more than 4 decades for a Phalanx to finally shoot down a hostile enemy weapon. That's a good thing. A typical U.S. Navy ship has 3 or more defensive rings, with each being closer to the ship, that an incoming threat has to pass through. The outer ring consists of the Aegis combat system, complete with SM-2 and SM-6 air defense missiles. The next inner ring is the evolved Sea Sparrow, and in some cases, the 5-inch gun system. Phalanx, as well as the jamming component of Sea-Whip and the Nulka decoy system, form the innermost ring. U.S. Navy destroyers have been engaged before, but this is the first time an anti-ship missile has penetrated all the way to the innermost ring.